Hi there everyone, to Dr. Maria Salud de los Santos, our beloved professor, to our classmates, and to the panel members, good day. I am Stella S. Cantor from Team Iloilo, and my research study is entitled Exploring the Lived Learning Experiences of Maritime Students in their English Classroom Speaking Activities, a Grounded Theory. In the maritime industry, English has apparently played a vital role in the international trade and in globalization in general. Seafarers, as the leading workforce of this industry, are expected to be globally competitive towards their work, and as safety also is a major concern among seafarers, they need to equip themselves with good communication skills in English. Although language learners recognize the importance of oral practice to achieve communicative competence, linguistic problems and the reactions they trigger often cause students to avoid oral participation or remain passive when they are asked to express their ideas or opinions in an English class. Students are also scared about committing mistakes while they speak. They cannot also express themselves well or adequately because they lack adequate and appropriate vocabulary. Another factor that makes students to hesitate to speak in English is that they are shy and nervous. They feel fearful to speak English in front of other people because they lack confidence about their own competence in English. Along with this, the researcher would like to investigate the lived learning experiences of senior maritime students in their English classroom speaking activities at John B. Locson Foundation, Maritime University, Molo, Incorporated. Domain of inquiry. This study would like to explore the lived learning experiences of maritime students in their English-speaking activities at John B. Locson Foundation Maritime University, Molo, Incorporated, in order to generate a theory on this aspect. Specifically, this study aims to shed light on, first, the lived learning experiences when the students engage in various English classroom speaking activities. Second, the lived learning experiences in their English classroom speaking activities that students like or dislike. Third, the motivating and demotivating learning experiences they have in their English classroom speaking activities. Fourth, generating a theory on the kind of English classroom speaking activities that will improve the students' subject performance. This study used grounded theory as the research design. According to Strauss and Corbin 1994, grounded theory is an approach for developing theory that is grounded in data systematically gathered and analyzed. Figure 1 shows the research process for the theory generation. Likewise, this study used inductive approach for theory generation. As to Goddard and Melville of 2004, inductive approach, also known inductive reasoning, starts with the observations and theories are proposed towards the end of the research process as a result of observation. Research environment. This study was conducted at John B. Locson Foundation Maritime University, Molo, Incorporated, Iloilo City. John B. Locson Foundation Maritime University, or JBLFMU, is a pioneer institution in maritime education in Iloilo. Today, the school holds international accreditation, being certified by Det Norsk Veritas of Norway for its quality assurance system, the first in the Philippines, second in Asia, and third in the world. The research participants of this study were the randomly selected senior high school maritime students of the said university. The selection criteria were as follows. First, the participants should be a bona fide students of the said school. Second, should have taken up oral communication subject, and third, should be a regular senior high school students. Data collection. The primary data collection method was the participants' interviews. Interviews were audio taped and transcribed, and a semi-structured format was used in the present project, allowing the participants and the researcher the flexibility to expand upon the specific questions proposed on the interview protocol. Interview guide used was also validated by the 3 jurors that include the research coordinator and the 2 English teachers. Coding and categorizing data, trustworthiness, triangulation, theoretical sampling and constant comparison, memo writing, theoretical saturation, theoretical sensitivity, ethical consideration, rigorous adherence to research method, and data analysis using thematic approach were other parts considered for data collection procedures.
This time showing you the demographic profile of the participants. As shown in Table 1, the total study participants consisted of 11 senior maritime students. 5 of them graduated from the private schools and 6 from the public schools during their junior high school. And their grades range from 77 to 91. The 6 themes as deduced from the transcripts of the participants are the following. Theme 1, feelings. Theme 2, likes. Theme 3, dislikes. Theme 4, motivating factors. Theme 5, demotivating factors. And Theme 6, students' preference. Generation of Hypothesis 1. Participants were asked to describe their experiences in their English classroom speaking activities, precisely the one they like and dislike most. And they were extracted from the following themes. Theme 1, which is feelings. Theme 2, likes. And Theme 3, dislikes. Hypothesis 1. Participants enjoy group activities wherein they can work together and avoid doing individual performance due to the feeling of nervousness and stage fright. Proposition 1. Students would rather perform as a group because they can share ideas together, while individual performance keeps them nervous and gives them stage fright. Generation of Hypothesis 2. Participants describe the motivating and demotivating experiences they had in their English classroom speaking activities and the reasons why. Hypothesis 2. Participants perform for the sake of their grades and discouraged to participate if audience make fun of them aside from being nervous and having stage fright. Proposition 2. Students are well motivated because of their grades and otherwise demotivated when there is a feeling of nervousness, stage fright, and when audience make fun of them during their delivery. Generation of Hypothesis 3. Participants suggested the kind of activities they want to have for their English classes. Hypothesis 3. Participants become more enthusiastic to perform when activities are interesting, challenging, and motivating. Proposition 3. Students would rather engage to activities in speaking when they are interesting, challenging, and motivating. Out of these 3 hypotheses, the theory generated can be summarized as follows. Interesting, challenging, and motivating activities in speaking encourage students to enthusiastically participate in an English classroom despite nervousness, stage fright, and undesirable reactions from the audience. Figure 2 depicts the lived learning experiences of maritime students as to motivation, demotivation, and students' preference in their English classroom speaking activities. Based on this study, it can be concluded that maritime students encounter different experiences in their English classroom speaking activities, and good to know that most of them had nice experiences towards these activities, though fear, nervousness, and stage fright were inevitably felt in most individual activities. They also enjoyed group activities wherein they were able to express their ideas and share them with the group. Grades and learning became good motivators to participate in their English classroom speaking activities. Thus, interesting, challenging, and motivating kinds of English classroom speaking activities would likely improve student subject performance, for they become more enthusiastic to perform these activities, may it individually or in group. Based on the conclusions drawn from the study, the following recommendations are made. First, maritime students should learn how to overcome their fear, nervousness, and stage fright by developing self-confidence when delivering a speech or engaging into various speaking activities, not only in their English class but also in other subjects. Second, because teachers play a vital role in the English classroom, they should encourage students to actively participate in the speaking activities. At the same time, they should devise varied activities that are interesting, challenging, and motivating that will improve the student's subject performance. And third, for further enhancement of the study, the researcher recommends having in-depth analysis of the study on the lived learning experiences of the maritime students in their English classroom speaking activities.
Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. And again, Ma'am Salud, thank you for your understanding. And to all of you, advance Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.